Welcome to Loadout, the third-person free-to-play game that just debuted on the PS4. It was originally on the PC, but was ported over in the whole entire movement to get more free-to-play games on the PlayStation. The best way to compare this game to any other games is it's just Destiny and Team Fortress 2 put into one package, but it has the elements of Ratchet & Clank if you've ever played it. If you've ever played Ratchet & Clank, you'll know what I'm talking about. The third-person gameplay, the strafing mechanics, the goofy-looking guns, just the cartoon style in general is very similar. Now let's get down to the gameplay. The gameplay is fast-paced, but at the same time it's slow-paced. What I mean by that is you're going to see a lot of action in this game. You're going to be jumping up and down, you're going to be rolling across the floor, and you're going to be in constant gunfights. But the thing is, they're going to last a lot longer than usual. You don't get dropped in a few seconds. It takes a good 10-15 seconds of constant fire to get dropped in this game. It makes a very involving and intense gameplay that you just can't really get anywhere else. Strategy and just hitting consistent shots is a must. You need to dodge it out of the way, and you need to know what weapons to use in certain scenarios. As much as I don't want to say it's a tactical game, because it's really not, it kind of is. There's definitely a intense level of strategy to it, whether it's rolling out of the way of a rocket, avoiding a grenade, or just strafing to the side so you make a harder hit. There's an in-depth class customization system that definitely shows its true potential. There's, I believe, 6 columns, and there's infinite amount of customization for each one. You can make pulse weapons, energy weapons, rifles, and launchers. Personally, my favorite gun right now is the launcher, and the one you're watching right now. Because splash damage is a must. Really, it's sometimes very difficult to land consistent shots on targets because people are moving around so frequently and so fast that's difficult. So if you can get some splash damage, it can definitely help out. As you can see, a bot just killed me. Bots are filled in for players who leave, or if there's not enough players to start the match, a bot will be put in their position. You're probably thinking, oh, a bot, they're probably really crappy, they probably are just easy to kill, and really no, these bots are better than pretty much every player I've played against so far. And right here's another example of how the gameplay really functions in this game. You're going to have a lot of these back and forth battles where you're both going to be charging into the other team's area, and you're just going to get mowed down. I mean, it's really the fact of the matter is you're going to get team shotted because one player is just going to drag attention from the whole entire team, and you're going to gun them down quick. As you can see, there's a lot of explosions, and it does get kind of intense, and it's really fun to play, actually. It's very fast-paced. Once again, it's still slow-paced at the same time. There's a level of strategy, just like Team Fortress 2, that you have to kind of complete. You have to be very specific, and you have to land shots, and there's not a lot of margin for error, because if he hits 5 shots and you only hit 2, he's going to have a huge advantage. And he's going to be able to play a little more aggressively while you're going to have to fall back. This is a good example of what most one-on-one gunfights are going to look like. There's going to be a lot of rolling, a lot of strafing, and a lot of moving back and forth. It's still going to take a while to kill him because, once again, there's a lot more health and a lot less damage output, at least in the lower levels. And there I got the assist for 50 points. I heavily advise that you don't go into the sniping route, because one, they're just really difficult to use in such a fast-paced game. I mean, if you're the type of player to kind of stay in the back, then it might work for you, but since it takes so long to kill, and you're going to miss so many shots, it's just really not worth it in the end. You're better off with the rocket launcher or the submachine gun. But once again, if you know how to use it, they can be effective because, as you can see, they dish out a lot more damage than all the other weapons. So if you know how to use it, but if you don't, I'd really avoid it, at least until later levels. This game definitely has a sense of humor, as it has a lot of goofy looking characters, and you can dance. Yes, there are taunts in this game. Now here's where I say it's a lot kind of like Destiny, is where you have these wave game modes where you have to protect a certain point from just mobs of enemies. I have to say it's not as fun as multiplayer, but I still had a lot of fun with it. It's a good way to rack up some money, and it's definitely worth playing. So here's the capture point. This is kind of what you have to protect. Now here you have these little crates. I believe one of them gives you like currency, and the other one gives you health. I would definitely be proactive picking this up because you do not regenerate health in this game, and that's a big thing. You have to play differently depending on how much health you have, and if you have a lot of health you can play more aggressive. If you have little, you kind of have to play more passive and wait for them to come to you. There's a lot of explosions and it can get pretty crazy in some of these better games. I have to say, it's nice that you can pick up space bucks, even though it's small, but it's still something, so you don't have to throw down money in this game. This game is a free-to-play game, so if you really want to get into it, I'm sure you're going to have to throw down some money, because I think that's just the nature of the beast. Is it's free to play, but if you really want to play competitively, or you have to want to be good or upgrade faster, you're definitely going to have to throw down some cash. I don't plan on throwing down any because I'm not that into the game to throw it down. At least now I'm not. But my final verdict on this game is, if you have a PlayStation 4 and you have the free space, I'd definitely download it. And it's just fun, even if you aren't going to throw down money, even if you just want a few hours of enjoyment, it's definitely worth it. The customization is really insane, and also I just still think it's a really fun game to play. It's fast paced. If you're a Ratchet & Clank fan, I think you'll like this game. Go download it and give it a try. It's a free to play game, so you're not going to be losing anything, but you might just really enjoy it and find a new game. Overall, I think it's fun, but it's not as much my cup of tea as I wish I would. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and just have an awesome day. Peace.